turn our attention to a subject that I know you're very much well versed in, because you're a member of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Energy.
Yes.
I lie?
You don't lie.
Okay.
I'm vice chairman.
There we go, vice chairman. The Pressure Group Alliance for Accountable Governance, AFAG, has described the proposed tariff increment as a complete rip-off, and we know the PRC is at the forefront of it, and sheer economic enslavement sponsored by an overly corrupt, inept and Tinubu government. And they also made a number of suggestions, and already we know that we owed NGAS. We still owe NGAS, but we want to do negotiations so that adequately we can pay based on the way we have renegotiated the terms. Let me speak on the subject of energy crisis and the subject of tariffs.
You know, this energy crisis has taken us all by surprise, because we were not expecting that we'll be sleeping in darkness for close to about 4 years. Very sad and pathetic. A country that we tout ourselves in Africa as the leading in West Africa. You see, a country was handed over to the NDC government in 2009. You enjoy electricity, everything. There was nothing like blackouts and all those things for almost 3 years. We started experiencing in 2012.
Well, the last time we had blackout was in 2007, and before then it was long.
I'm not saying that we have not. I mean, I know in 2007. We had
2006, 2007.
2006 we had it for about almost 11 months, which I am aware. But this is serious. It has never happened. 3 years going to 4 years. With all this abundant resources at the disposal of the government, the current government, we are still going through this kind of problems. It is serious. Nobody should joke about it. Look at the number of people who are losing their jobs. Companies are folding up. And we think it is normal. We shouldn't talk about it. And government communicators will come and tell us that, oh, government is putting up this year, doing this. I mean, come on. People are suffering because they've lost their jobs. And you come back, you slap another 100%. I'm told they want to increase the utility tariff by 100%. For God's sake. And then these people, are they not the ones who are saying that they are social democrats? You increase a worker's salary by 10%, then you pass back, then you slap 100% increment on utility tariffs.
But Honorable Osanyako, it's not as simple as that, is it? The way you tend to perhaps do the juxtapose like and
I'm not doing that. I'm saying that
it's not as simple as that, but because there was an increment of 10%.
Yes,
so we should have a corresponding only increment.
No, I'm not saying that you can have, but I'm telling you the impact that will have on the ordinary worker.
Right.
Okay, if you work, you are a worker, a government worker, and you receive, let's say, 5 million at the end of the month. You pay your rent and everything, and you have to pay your utility, and they have slapped about 100% to it. Do you know how much disposable income that you have to take care of your family? That is what I'm telling you. We are not saying that there shouldn't be any increment at all, because once we are enjoying the electricity, there will be a time, because production keeps going on, production costs also keep going up. We should be ready to also support, but not in a situation when we are not seeing any improvement in the energy sector. Then you say you want to slap on what? But I'm not surprised. You know, government is trying to privatize ECG. One of the conditions in the privatizing the ECG is to make sure that they clear every outstanding cost, every outstanding debt before the investors comes in. So that is one of the way. Just increase the tariff, peg it as a certain place. The investor who is coming will feel comfortable that I'm not coming to do business and run at a loss. But you know, most of this debt that we are talking about, when you go to ECG, when you go to VNR, NGAS, whatever, or even Ghana Gas, government is owing 2/3 of this.
If you say government, you mean ministries, department, agencies? MMDAs also. Okay.
They are owing.
All right. And other subvented government.
Yes, are owing 2/3 of this cost. So why is government not looking for money to pay off this debt?
All right, your point has been made. Your reaction to what is made, because critically, I remember Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in a press statement at a news conference that he addressed. Was it a lecture also? He said the problem we have with energy is more financial than anything else.
Before I start, I think my brother said 3 years consistent, no.
From 2011.
2012.
Yeah,
as far as I know, we had dumsor twice during the MPP era, in 2002 and 2007. Go check the records.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when it happens in 2002, I want to build up something. We thought that as a responsible government, they should realize that energy is very critical to the survival of the economy. Why did it happen again in 2007? Because there was no investment in the energy sector.
Mr. Wakil, now we're blaming the MPP.
No, I just want to build something. Because since 2000, the demand for electricity has been increasing by 10%. And the MPP era only added power to the national grid in 2007. And that is 80 megawatts, which we call the mine reserve plant. So if something built up 10, and in 2007, you add it. And down today, you sit down and say, this shouldn't happen. Why did it happen twice in your regime? Because there hadn't been investment in the energy sector. And that is the ripple effect we are facing today.
And having experienced in the last 3.5 years, are we doing investments?
We are putting, when we say investment, yes. But in building a plant or adding more power, it's not a one day. A normal plant takes about 2 to 3, 4 years to add to. As government, the president has indicated that he was going to fix it. And ensuring fixing it is not only solving dumsor, but ensuring that we have enough reserve margin and possibly export, so that at any point in time when there is a breakdown of any plant, then we can easily switch. As we indicated, in terms of what is happening currently, yes, government owes, but I want to ask anybody, have we done what we call clearinghouse to know exactly how government owe? And this I will be very happy if the Minister of Power could come out.
If you have knowledge, explain to us.
Clearinghouse means that Ghana supply fuel to VRA. So VRA owe government. VRA provide power to ECG. ECG owes VRA. ECG, Ghana also, government also consumes current power from ECG. So government owes ECG. So so unless they sit out, oh, VRA, you owe me this. ECG, VRA will say, ECG, you owe me that. The ECG will say, government owes. Let's net it and know the net effect. If not, we'll always go out and say, oh, Ghana government owes this.
But that's the truth.
Then you realize,
really,
let me say,
government
that is why I say the clearinghouse is very important. For example, be it the agreement, government is not supposed to pay net NGAS. You know that. The commercial agreement is between VRA and NGAS. That VRA will sell gas to ECG, provide power to ECG, ECG pays them, they pay. But government is paying that debt. That means VRA will be owing government. If we settle the one.
Well, in the financials.
So yes. That is why we say there must be clearinghouse.
But practically, at the end of the day, it's also because of what you've described, the cyclical nature.
That is why I'm saying that there is the need to know the net effect. If not, government will always be the punching bag. Or government owes. But in actual fact, if you net it, you realize the effect. I also know most of government MDAs, they have put prepaid since 2013, 2014, most of them. They have put
Well, there were publications
now,
in the newspaper that gave indications that we have huge institutions, various top referral hospitals and institutions educationally who are owing.
They are supposed to pay.
Well,
I know there was a second.
where would they get subvention from? It's not from
yes,
government.
government is all sending subvention.
Why are you arguing this way?
There was a letter written that those institutions will take care of their light bill.
Through their subvention, they
Not
receive from
necessary
government.
subvention.
But where?
You see, when you limit in terms of educational institution, if you limit it to only subvention, I think you are not getting the right thing.
Okay, I get your argument.
The educational institute, their IGF is more than the subvention, because the subvention they get, one, they have personal emolument, administration, and service.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes, I worked in a university before, in the accounts office. So we make sure that personal emolument, administration, and service, or what we call investment, most of the time comes from the IGF. So I know what I'm talking about.
Are you claiming there is a negligence of the head of those institutions to pay?
I'm
That's
not
why
saying negligence.
Okay.
It's how they prioritize.
Now we owe NGAS.
NGAS.
We owe NGAS.
Yes.
And we can't pay. We've only been able to pay $10 million, for which now we had to go and renegotiate the terms to be able to pay by the close of next year.
For 1 year,
February.
government owes
What is
NGAS.
wrong
Say
with
it.
that?
Oh, well, you have to tell me, because they convened a press conference and wanted to cut supplies to Ghana.
Yes.
That's as serious and how wrong it is.
Let me tell you something. In a business environment, government is coming in because VRA has not been able to pay. And as a responsible government, we have to come in and negotiate and see how it will be settled. I'm okay. It's not out of order. Let me tell you, recently, Gazprom in Russia against Ukraine, they are fighting. Is that not it? And the West branded Russia this way, but Ukraine owe huge debt to Russia. And just recently, they have to negotiate to agree, because winter is coming and gas supply must be provided. Yes, we owe. That doesn't mean that once we owe and we go to negotiate, means we are in crisis. I will entreat that we negotiate, get the settlement spaced out, and make sure we settle it with time. It's not something out of normal country dealing with each other in terms of energy. So I believe that this negotiation will settle, and finally the debt will be settled, and there will be cut off gas supply to Ghana. No. But let me tell you, when it comes to energy, nobody can boast of improving the energy sector more than the ruling government.
Why?
Be it generation.
And we're in difficulties?
Yes, being difficult doesn't mean that.
Difficulty for 3 years.
Yes.
Continuously.
But it will be fixed forever and ever. And it will recur, as it recurred during your time twice.
No.
In terms of distribution.
And it has prolonged in your time.
We haven't,
Yes.
we never experienced it long like
only
we are
believe
experiencing in NDC
we believe
time.
that if we do the necessary investment and do it once and for all, it is better than do cosmetic solution, as they did in 2002.
We never
it
did.
Recur in 2007.
We never did.
So they are cosmetic.
We
are
never
putting
did. We
permanent
never
solutions.
did cosmetic.
Yes.
We never did cosmetic investment in energy sector. Your own finance minister, Kwabena Dufo, his first budget he came to Parliament to read.
That will be in 2009.
Yes, he made mention the investment that Kufuor and MPP government have made in the energy sector.
Very good.
Today you are even talking about West African gas pipeline. Do you know how much was sunk into that project? You have no idea. Because of politics and parochial interest, when you came, were some projects that NPP government have started. But this government came to start those projects. Some were stored for 2 years. Some were stored for 3 years. When you were doing that, were you expecting to get a stable energy within the country to supply the ordinary Ghanaian? You were playing politics because it was Party A which started. And they don't know the contracts also, they want to store it. You see, when we have this kind of primitive idea that Party A started it, and that we won't continue. We will also start our own. At the end, who suffer? It is the ordinary citizen, the ordinary person on the street that suffer. If government have continued with those projects that MPP started, the one in the Tema Enclave have started, I don't think we would have gone facing this kind of problem. If government, we are talking about Ghana gas, the Atuabo gas, if government, when he came, the negotiation which had been done by the late Kojo Banredu with Trinidad and Tobago to start this gas plant, if they have gone with that kind of agreement or MOU, without going back, starting a new one with Sinopec, do you think we would have...
So you're saying that caused delays?
You see, that is why I said this government is synonymous when you mention bad policies and bad management. We need to change this government.
All right.
It is for the interest of the ordinary person to change this government come 2016. We can't continue, messing up everything. Everything they touch is a mess up. Nobody is saying this government have not achieved, have not done anything. That one, if me, Kennedy, an MPP person and a member of parliament, if I come and sit on your set to say that NDC have not done anything, I'm a liar.
But
in terms of development.
But you're saying they've not done enough.
The critical areas, as for somebody building schools, I won't say that they have not built schools. Somebody may be doing road, I won't say they have not even tied a kilometer of road. Everybody does that. It is, the responsibility of every government. But the critical one that transforms the lives of the ordinary person, look at how tattered the economy is.
Yes, let me just create some erroneous notion he created that we never continue with previous government projects.
Well, you stalled it.
You stalled it.
You see, in government, when you come, you assess where there are need for corrections, you do it. Those that are in order, you continue. If not, the N1 highway should have been stopped. Are you getting my point? 2, the Bui Dam should have been stopped. But we continued. Where there are difficulties, you need to do some sort of, what we say,
realignment.
Some realignment and see that things are working. 2, even previous years, this thing, the Abu Abu market in Tamale, since Champon time, we have continued to complete it. But 2, let me tell you, not Dufour said you have done investment. Which year did you start doing the investment? Do you know the year they started? In 2008. How can you be in government for 7 solid years? Give me a tabla. I need a tabla. Okay. 2001, you did this. 2008. You started investing in 2008. And that is why for 7 years, from 2001 to 2008, because of only 8 months, if you take 2010, we have added energy. 2011, we have added.
And when
2000, when you have accumulated unattended
we have to wrap up.
increment, you have a
when
problem.
When is the badge coming? That one the Prime Minister has to answer?
Yes.
Okay.
What I can do is that the ingredients necessary for the badges to land.
That is
provisional guarantee. Okay. The platform is about 90% complete.
You know about that one?
Yes.
But you didn't ask them.
I can talk about the ingredient that is necessary for the badge.
As for the badge, it will come. So ask him. Does the government have the financial muscles to fuel that badge? Because we are going to use.
Do you have the financial muscle to
do it?
You see, do you know why?
You can't even pay $1 million.
Do you know why your?
Do you have the financial muscle to? You said that's the question.
You should ask the government.
Financial muscle
in the PPA, Power Purchasing Agreement, there must be a commercial agreement between the car power and GMPC. It's not government we're supposed to provide, and it is factored in the tariff, said that that company should enter into a commercial agreement with GMPC, so they have a commercial agreement. As and when they need GMPC supply, and they pay back the GMPC. So there's nothing like government.
Who gives GMPC money? Who? Is government who gives government money?
No,
Kennedy
You see, you don't know the sources of revenue.
is a member of
You don't know the
Parliament.
source of revenue.
Budget in Parliament.
And he's been in the studio with Adam
You think the
and Adam
GMPC
Mutawakil is a member of
we
Parliament for
approve it.
Damango.